entering a brand new era. Things are not quite so old school. There's tons of exclusive content, should be pretty cool. 24 full years of questing, to make sure devs were doing great. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2008. Welcome back to March 11th, 2008. And also, potentially, welcome back from the 2-month break that was old school RuneScape's 5th League Raging Echoes. That should be done from your perspective. Not from mine, though. I still got a few more days before that. Got a few things I want to get done before and during. So we're getting some stuff set up here. First goal, new grinding a little bit here, is crafting. 76 is okay, but if I could get 79, that could be potentially very convenient here for an upcoming situation. And so, I'm just out here crafting unstrung holy symbols here. Mining silver, smelting it, turning it to stars, and selling it to the general store. Making a little bit of money, a little bit of crafting XP. Very, very easy is the main benefit here. I did have some crazy idea with the crystal bow and green dragons and getting dragon bones, bringing them onto my player and house altar, and taking the hides, bringing them over here, tanning them, and making green dragon hide bodies or something, and alching it. But I feel like that would just be a lot more work, a lot more teleporting around, and probably also just straight up less crafting XP, because while they're running. Other thing that I'm doing is going to be the next thing after the crafting is done. Fishing and cooking. And a whole lot of it, that's for sure. So I'm going to be running all over the world, grabbing feathers. Info on these feather packs here. It's got 2,000 feathers for 15,000 coins. There would be infinite stock. So I'll just grab these at 6 feathers, 6 GP per feather, these at 7.5. Just speed up this process a little bit. Instead of hopping worlds, we can just grab many feathers. Teleporting all over the place, going to all kinds of shops. Lots of feathers are available, and I need to stock up. There is 77 crafting. Wild. A bunch of unlocks here, like the Armadillo Battle Staff, Stego Lather Chaps, Decorated Rune Crafting Urns, and Moonstone Amulets. None of these exist yet. So many things in crafting that don't exist yet. Went ahead and purchased the rest of the feathers I needed. 135,000 of them. Cost quite a bit. And also made 170,000 coins. Got to about 77 and a half crafting here. A few more hours of making the stars. So we can get on to updates now, I'd say. On March 13th, 2008, Players Gallery. All sorts of humorous stuff and comics is the theme this time. Always a good time with the Players Gallery. Until next time, we're gonna get to that. On March 18th, 2008, new bits of things you can do. Music list now has amount unlocked, so you can see how you're making progress towards the air guitar. Still have more tracks than we probably should, currently. We're not getting all of them, though, by any means. Still a lot of places we have not been. Over in the fight caves, you'll now always get 8,000 tackle and a fire cape every time you beat Jan. Previously, you might not have gotten extra fire capes or something. Not like we're gonna go and get another one, because my goodness, the fight caves right now. And then, if you don't want to keep all your extra fire capes, you could trade them in for another 8,000 tackle. Which is really not a lot, but it's something, I guess. Double what you would get for just finishing it in the first place, I guess. If you just want more tackle. Over at the Grand Exchange, some prices of items are more tied together. Specifically, like unfinished to finished things. So there's not any weird price discrepancies. Even though there sometimes should be, in order to add value to actually making the things finished. Depends what way the economy's going, I suppose. Chaos Druids have had their death animations shortened to make their drops pop up faster, be less inconvenient to fight. There's definitely been some things like that over the years, just making things unnecessarily awkward. But for the actual content for today, it's the Easter event. Head over to the standard holiday event area just south of Falador, where one of the Easter Bunny's guards will tell you to go find some Easter eggs hidden all over Asgarnia. Find enough, you can head into the Warrens, talk to the Easter Bunny, where of course we're having another massive problem, because that's always what happens on Easter. Various critters have gotten in and eaten the chocolate, so he's going to make a Chocatrice egg with the eggs that you found. Put it in the chocolate fountain, heat it correctly, and get yourself a Chocatrice. Summon it, which is, in this case, one of the only times free-to-play gets summoning for a long time, and use it to go and turn the pests into more chocolate. For this, you need to be shrunk down into a tiny rabbit to enter the smaller holes, to hunt down the mice, rats, spiders, snails, and cockroaches. But once they turn into chocolate, everything's fine. Just don't tell anyone that the Easter Bunny's chocolate is now made of cockroaches. We don't worry about that. Once you've made enough chocolate, you bring it back to the Easter Bunny, and you win. And your reward for helping out here is the Chocatrice cape. And that's the Chocatrice from the event. Also comes with an emote, where you turn into an egg. Got a nice little bow on the front here. Big egg. Hooray. That is the Easter event. If you didn't get the previous Easter emotes, you need to go get more chocolate chunks, and you can unlock that too. The emotes generally are just continually available, even if the actual items aren't. Well, that's definitely Easter. Continuing on March 27th, 2008, another one of the State of Play news posts, keeping you updated on what's going on. This time, we've got Summoning Batch 2 and a PvP minigame almost done. The Grand Exchange database will be coming soon after those. The Friends List text issue is in progress. And stuff with Clan Wars, random events, and item lending are a little further from being done. Kind of still in the ideas stages, more than anything. Going back to the Summoning Batch 2 being soon here. A new wallpaper featuring Titans. Going to be very cool, very high level things soon. We also get Postbag from the Hedge, number 29. Bankers, demons, something from the dark. All your questions answered. Some of your questions answered. And lastly on the website, we also have a Lores and Histories. This time, related to the desert here a bit, we got Tumakin's Dream. Dreams of gods, long past. Tumakin's gone. What did he dream? Anyways, On March 31st, 2008, the Abyssal Bracelets have become Forna-3 bracelets. They have the same stopping sculling powers that they did for the Abyss, but now they also teleblock from Revenants. So that's convenient. Makes it, again, just a little more safer to go to the Abyss, I suppose. Over here, in the Lumbridge Cow Field, this new fence here indicates the existence of gnome copters. Gnome-powered personal helicopters that will go give you tours of Letya, Castle Wars, the Polar Hunter area, the Games Room, Berg der Rot, and Pest Control. Mostly just a advertisement for free-to-play players. Show all sorts of cool stuff that exists in members. The copter service itself was removed in 2009, and a lot of the extra boxes and things were gotten rid of and replaced with just some more cows here in 2016. So we will not be traveling on personal helicopter to go check out a game of Castle Wars played by NPCs. As fun as that was. Slightly more useful and things that still exist, we have Summoning, Batch 2, coming in two different parts. First up, we have the rebalance of Summoning. All kinds of very helpful updates. Your familiars will stay longer, they have more abilities, you get XP when they fight things, based on which familiar you're using. They're much stronger in fights, tankier, more health, all sorts of good stuff. You get more charms, since 20 Slayer-related creatures and the Dorshkan chests now have charms. For restoring your summoning points, there's now mini obelisks all over the world. So you don't need to trek all the way to one of the main obelisks. You can put more scrolls in your headgear, which isn't really a thing anymore. More quick buttons for Beast of Burden, for taking and putting things into it. And the Beast of Burdens themselves are much, much better. Previously they were holding like 3, 6 things. But now, for instance, the Spirit Terror Bird is 12 items, and the Spirit War Tortoise is 18. Not quite at the level to get the Pack Yak at 30 slots, but 18 is still pretty good. Much better than it was when we unlocked it just a little bit ago. And also, as if all of these improvements in pretty much every way wasn't enough, there's also now a whole bunch of new familiars also. These we kind of skipped over as we were going through here. New guys. Starting way back here with level 17, the Spirit Mosquito. Requires a gold charm, a proboscis, and 1 shard. Getting a proboscis is very difficult. Pretty much only get it from the mosquitoes in Typo 1A cleanup. So definitely not a reasonable thing to get for training by any means. It just fights some stuff, and the special scroll goes and attacks a little faster and everything. Just a stronger attack. Definitely not something we would be using at all. We continue down the list a bit. Level 22, we have the Spirit Tizkin, requiring a Crimson Charm, Obsidian Charm, and some shards. It is another combat kind of guy. Much like the Tizkin in the Fight Caves, its attacks will drain prayer points in PvP. Not that you're really going to be doing any PvP with it. Summoning still only works in multi-combat, and they got rid of multi-combat in Bounty Hunter. So I guess you could use it in Castle Wars, maybe? Not great. Its special attack, with the scrolls, is a fireball. And it can also hit multiple enemies. That's fun. Next, at level 29, we have the Giant Chinchompa. Blue Charm, regular Chinchompa, and some shards. Another guy here. Its special move is to explode, like Chinchompas do. Definitely something. So if you want to bring a whole bunch of these and have them just explode, they're not going to do much damage, but it's an option, I guess. Better uses for Chinchompas later. Next set of guys is a whole set of guys at level 34. You got the Void Ravager. Uses Green Charm, Ravager Charm, and Shards. All the types of charms here are from Pest Control. Ravager Charm, Spinner Charm, Torture Charm, and Shifter Charm. The other three here use blue charms. Should probably give more XP then. Yeah, you just get basically the pests. The Ravager attacks, and its special is the same for all of them. To teleport you to Pest Control. Also does a bit of other stuff here. This one, maybe. Some thumbs have other effects here too. Teleport to Pest Control for the Ravager, all of them. Also gives a mining boost, since it's got the claws and the mining and stuff. Mostly it's chopping down wood and stuff during the game, so you'd think maybe wood cutting. Well, there's already the beaver right here, so another little mining guy, why not? The Spinner, it's right here. He is a healing kind of guy. Not as good as a Bunyip, but it's something. The Torture attacks with fire. The Shifter is here. It does something. Special, again, just a teleport. Also will teleport you away if you're low on health, like it's a Ring of Life. Not super helpful though. Yeah, a bunch of Void guys. No Splatter or Brawler or Defiler. There's a lot of Void guys. Anyways, those exist. Next on the list, at 46 summoning, the Pyre Lord. Crimson Charm, Tinderbox, and Shards. Could have potentially been a reasonable one to make for XP. Go get some Tinderboxes. Depending on if the fire-making cape guy and his piles of Tinderboxes exist yet. But we were already past that quite a bit, so not gonna worry about that. He does a few different things here. Counts has extra XP for fires. Exactly what it does is fire related. Fire making boost. Counts as a tinderbox. Gives a little bit of bonus XP for making fires. Special ability is making superheat happen. Well, there you go. You can do superheat, or you can make jewelry. Still need the crafting level though. Next set, very important guys, at level 57. The Spirit Big Cats. We got the Spirit Kayat, Rupia, and Grak. The Grak gives you a +5 Hunter boost. Requires a blue charm, Grak fur. Of course, you're gonna need the furs for these. That just makes sense. What this required? Yeah. The various hunter furs for these. You have +5 Hunter boost and teleport near Shiloh Village with the Grak. Very convenient teleport. Some of these will be. And the scroll is just a combat attack. Hits twice now. That's something. The Spirit La Rupia also gives the +5 boost to Hunter and teleports you to Feldip Hills. Also has a more combat-focused special move, magic-based, and drains strength. Oh boy. Potentially the most valuable, though, is the Spirit Kayat. Again, +5 Hunter. And the teleport is to Piscarius. Or, not Piscarius, that's a different game entirely. Piscatoris Hunter area. Which is actually super convenient, because it is pretty close to an obelisk. Which makes it useful for actually training summoning. We'd have to get blue charms and the Kayat furs, though, which definitely doable. And now that familiars last longer, that's also quite helpful. So have this, and you can constantly teleport to right next to an obelisk. Would be closer and cheaper than constantly teleporting to the house to go to the Taverley obelisk. So potentially for future summoning training, that might be what we do. We'll have to be doing some more summoning in the future, obviously. And then its special attack is also pretty good. Does a bunch of extra damage. Hits 3 times, which will make it very powerful for combat. Spirit Kayat really is the winning one here. And then beyond those, there's more things we haven't unlocked yet at higher levels. Namely, all of those Titans. We'll be getting some Titans later. That rock just fall over there? That's something. Also, don't know if I mentioned this previously, but since summoning came out, there has been summoning potions. They just restore your points or something. Spirit Weed is a thing. Use it with a cockatrice egg. There you go. Summon a potion. Won't be making any of those too much, though. Depends what we're doing. We're using a whole bunch of special move scrolls, I guess. Not right now, though. Oh, yeah. As much as it doesn't make a huge difference for us right now, having all the better abilities and better familiars will be very helpful in the future. Moving on, we will go to where things are going to be happening next here. Let's teleport over to Drainer on April 1st, 2008, where you can get a dragon kite from Diango here. Previously we had horses, we had the dragon plate, and we have a dragon kite. Changed its name to Toy Kite after the April Fool's event was over here. And just fly the kite. You wouldn't want your dragon kite to float away. It's got a dragon on it. That's fun. Also, behind the scenes for April here, which is not a trick. We got the PvP minigame, more treasure trail update, back with the marquee, graphical updates, the Grand Exchange database. Lots of good stuff. On April 9th, 2008, Hunter Pet Variations for all your summoning pets. Go get more different colors of monkeys, squirrels, raccoons, and geckos. Very fun. Again, if we could have pets, but we need to keep dismissing them. Someday we won't. Someday soon. Over at the party room, the checks that tell it whether or not to Announce the party to the entire world. Now go off Grand Exchange market price. Stop people from trying to be sneaky about it. Assuming the Grand Exchange market prices are accurate, which is another question. Anyways. Fishing familiars will now give you some extra fishing XP when they make their catches while they're foraging, while you're just doing your fishing. So a little bit bonus XP. Pretty good. Graphical wise, the It's Not Pier is back. It was gone for a little bit. A random hole has been filled in Karamja, which is good. Not a useful hole. Not a hole for a quest or anything, just there was another hole. Just some random graphical glitches sometimes. It's always a thing. And better prices at the Recipe for Disaster chest and Gnome cooking stores. Get all your cooking stuff at a better deal. So that's fun. Next update is in a slightly awkward situation because the location has just completely moved. Previously, if we just pop over here to Edgeville and jump out into the wilderness, we would be able to go just a little bit north of Varrock and jump down another new hole. Previously it had all of these holes for the Chaos Tunnels. Now, just off to the side, there's a new hole to Fist of Gothics. Well, that is no longer here. We're gonna travel through the wilderness. If that's what's happening right now. We're gonna walk just slightly up into the wilderness, just north of Varrock. Go down the hole that's right there in the wilderness. Totally in the wilderness still. Making our way to the hole. It's just a cave entrance in the wilderness. And it goes to only one place here, not 3 places, 4 places. It's just a hole in the wilderness that goes into Fist of Gothics. It's over here now. Fist of Gothics. It is the new PvP minigame they were talking about. 1-on-1 player versus player combat through this passageway with a bit of a twist. Bits of lore here. We talk to Fihara. I know exactly what's going on here. As you approach the big creature thing, lets out a hiss that sounds partly like a threat and partly like a sigh. What was that about? Another human? Why do you all keep coming down here? What is this place? It is the site of the Fist of Gothics. Fist of Gothics? What is that? It is what it is. If you do not already know, it's probably best you don't learn. Okay. What are you all doing down here then? These druids are mainly just walking around not being quiet. Another one is setting up a fortress of crates and dragging all kinds of material junk into the cave. The 5th human, who isn't a druid, showed up when the following masses swarmed the cave. I see. What drew them here in the first place? The Fist of Gothics. And now they try to harness its power through this little business they've set up. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I'm a fan of power myself. I figured you were. After all, you are human. I guess I should talk to the druids about that business then. No, you should not. I'm the guardian here. Need to make sure that the rules are obeyed and that their games do not go out of control. Okay, you tell me about it then. Okay, I'll tell you. Now listen carefully so you do not forget. The passageway on my left leads to the waiting room. If you want to participate in the games, this is where you must go. Once enough adventurers have gathered, I'll pair you up 1-on-1 against each other, send you into the arena. Arena is the cave of the Fist of Gothics. Let me just show you. Here we get a whole look at it. Bit of a tutorial. This is the place. Each game is divided into 2 rounds, and your opponent will take turns being hunter and hunted. I decide who starts as what. While you're a hunter, you will see the text hunting in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. While you're hunted, the text will say hunted by. There is a large circular and ancient power emanates from the center. Start on opposite sides of the arena. The goal of a hunter is simple: chase down and defeat the hunted by any means necessary. The goal of the hunted is not quite as easy. If you're in the arena, you will find yourself close to a small stone altar, a stone dispenser. On top of this, you should see a glowing stone. In the role of the hunted, you must pick up the stone from the dispenser. This is what you will use to gather the powerful energy from the center of the arena. While you're wielding this stone, and only while you hold it in your hands, now it's in your backpack, it will draw energy from the Fist of Jagex. Your objective is to get as many of these charges as possible. The amount of charges you have gathered is listed in the upper right corner. As the hunted, however, you must be careful. Your opponent, the hunter, is there to defeat you. While you are wielding the stone, you'll be unable to fight. Also, you may feel very strong, but in the role of the hunted, you will find your abilities severely drained. More as you get closer to the center. Someone who may otherwise be an easy opponent to defeat in combat may instead prove most dangerous. You can, of course, try to fight back against your opponent, even though it may be difficult. Also, as the hunted, you'll be limited in your magical abilities as well. Only a certain spell that can aid you in this role. Speaking of magic, I should also mention that you'll find that some spells are not as efficient in the cave as they may be in other areas. Finally, as the hunted, you'll also take periodic damage from the powerful energies in the arena. Okay, so the hunted only has to hunt down their target? That is correct. And the hunted will be weaker than usual, has to pick up a stone from a stone dispenser at the edge of the arena, and wield the stone in order to charge it. Yes, and the closer to the center of the arena you are, the more it will be charged. Anything else? Yes, you'll find 4 small buildings in the arena. Their doorways are blocked by magical barriers. Only the hunted can enter through these, and, while inside, will be completely invisible to everyone else. The barriers are dangerous, however, and will drain some of your health as you pass through them. Inside the houses, you'll find portals. You can use them to teleport from house to house, still invisible to everyone else. But be aware the magic is very old, and the portals have been actively used for thousands of years. They may activate strangely from time to time, as the portals require energy to work properly and will drain some charge from your stone. If you don't have enough charges, you won't be able to use the portal. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So, when does the round end? A round can end in 4 different ways. 1, the hunted is defeated. 2, the hunted completely charges his or her stone, which is unlikely to happen. 3, the timer runs out. Each round can take no longer than 10 minutes. You can see how much time is left in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. 4, if either player leaves the arena, in which case the other one will be declared the winner. The forfeitor will also be flattened as such and receive less tokens in the next game they play. When the first round is ended, the second round starts immediately, and the roles switch. The one who played the hunter in the first round will now have the chance to play the hunted and gather charges. When both rounds have been played, the one with the most charges wins. Okay, what's the rewards? The druids put a lot of value into the gathered energy. You'll be awarded Fist of Jagex tokens. How many tokens will depend on your total skill level. A wide and balanced array of knowledge is something positive in the eyes of Jagex, and how many charges you've got. The Fist of Jagex tokens can be spent on items in the shop that the druids have decided to clutter my cave with. You'll also be awarded a rating, which is completely separate from the tokens. It simply keeps track of how well you play the game. If you win, your rating improves. If you lose, your rating will suffer. Your rating will improve significantly if you gather a lot more charges than your opponent. Also, the rating will be further adjusted if the difference in combat level is large. If you lose to someone much more capable than you in combat, your rating won't suffer as much if you lose to someone around your own level. Was that it? Almost. Patience is a great virtue. Finally, you cannot bring just anything you want into the game. Only items usable in combat, but no food and no potions. That's why we have some means of healing and a large amount of generic runes, called elemental runes and catalytic runes for your magic. These runes can be used in place of any other runes you can take with you. But do note, they can only be used in the Fist of Jagex cave. Also, any arrows or other forms of ammunition used in the arena will be handed back to you at the end of the game. Assuming they are still intact, of course. And don't leave anything lying around. I don't want to completely ruin the sacred site. Fist of Jagex. Now, do you have any questions? No. I'm good. get the Physiogothics tokens, and then you get rewards from the druids here. Specifically, Reggie. Hey, Reggie. Welcome, adventurer. Have you come to look at my fine wares? Yes, let's see what you're selling. He's got various things here. The Druid Mage set gives a chance of improving, well, just a better chance at your bind spells landing. The combat robes and battle robes can save some of your mind, chaos, death, and blood runes. But they're all kind of not that good. Also, just the stats are also not crazy. Also, we have the spike shields in Adamant and Rune, Spike Shield and Berserker Shield. They were shields with a bit of extra strength bonus. Well, that was changed with Evolution of Combat. These first ones have cost and then recharge for all the Physiogothics tokens. So you need to keep playing more if you want to keep using your robes and shields. On the more disappears at the end side of things, we've got the gloves. Degrade to dust. It's a thing. Dragon Slayer gloves give more accuracy and Slayer XP on Dragon Slayer tasks. Herb gloves, originally only Irit, Amento, Quarm, and Cadentine. Change any herb drop to be the herb selected 50% of the time. They have a certain amount of charges and they are gone. We've got the Swordfish and Shark gloves, which give a little bit of bonus experience for fishing said fish. And Air, Water, and Earth runecrafting gloves, which give double runecrafting XP for crafting air, water, and earth runes, which is not good. In general, nothing we really need or want, and that's okay. Falling Out is not allowed in the arena. Holy mold. Drop it. Feathers. I'm certainly not going to drop my 135,000 feathers I spent all that money on. Probably not going to do very much Fist of Gothics. Don't really need to. But it exists. And that's something. Not too many mini games are too useful anymore, which is unfortunate. Anyways, on April 11th, 2008, the PayPal subscription prices reduced. Not going to be using the Pay by Cash system to process the transactions anymore. Just going directly through PayPal. So basically, 10 to 20% off membership costs. That's pretty good. Lots of different ways to pay for membership. On April 15th, 2008, the Grand Exchange Database Beta on the website. Track the prices of everything. See if it's going up or down. Try to do some merchanting. More things we don't care about at all, because we can't trade. The offense appeal system has been updated. You can now appeal some of those permanent mutes. Whether or not you will actually get it depends. Depends what you were muted for, probably. Over at Bounty Hunter, there's now limits on the minimum and maximum number of players. And so more worlds have been opened up to allow more games, assuming there's enough people. Dogs won't change color as they grow up, which is definitely something. And some land has been re-smoothed near the Faldor West Bank. More graphical situations out here. The real update for this day, though, is the Treasure Trail expansion. Got various new clue steps for medium and hard clues in the form of riddles and anagrams. And of course, it's not a clue scroll update without a whole bunch of new rewards. From easies, you now get the black crossbow and bolts, black cane, spiked helmet, oak planks, and various oak flat packs. Adding some construction things to the clues as well here. From medium, there is the penguin, sheep, bat, cat, and wolf mask. A whole set of animal masks here. The adamant cane, pith helmet, teak planks, and teak flat packs. And then from hard clues, there's the rune cane, a top hat, mahogany planks, and then flat packs for a few gilded pieces and the opulent table. Flat packs are not super popular things. You can barely sell them. Good luck. On April 17th, 2008, the next Players Gallery, a whole bunch of different dragons with bonus plagiarism of some of the dragons. So the images were later removed and swapped for other dragons and stuff. Don't plagiarize and send it into the Players Gallery. My goodness, people. It's supposed to be a celebration of your art. Stop it. On April 18th, 2008, Fun Orb update. Multiplayer Arcanists, now available for free to play. Only the Arcane and Fire books. And a new game, Shattered Plans, space-based galaxy conquering strategy game. Fun Orb, still a thing. And that brings us to April 22nd, 2008, where a whole bunch of the new clue scroll items are now storable in your play-around house costume room, along with stuff from Trouble Brewing, another minigame we are not going to be going to do. Over the Grand Exchange, some items will change price more frequently to not get stuck at the wrong prices. Got some graphical reworks for Ice Fiends and the entrance to Mauritania. I'm gonna go scoot over there. We got the portal that just goes to Canifis, so we're pretty much good to go in terms of getting to Mauritania situations. Here we are. Mauritania. More graphical reworks. Something, something. Just this general area, or whatever. Got to get the map updated here, of course. And the reason for the Mauritania graphical update here is because it is very much related to the next quest. We've got Legacy of Seergaze, the next marquee quest. Requires Darkness of Halabale and the ability to enter Mauritania, which is already covered by being able to do the Darkness of Halabale, but sure. 20 construction, 29 agility, 31 slayer, 35 mining, 40 fire making, 47 crafting, 49 magic, and just for narrative's sake, follows the events of Shades of Morton Desert Treasure, but not technically requirements, or something. Required items, teak or better pyre logs, so we need to go do some Shades of Morton. Blessed Silver Sickle, 2 combat styles would be good, and quite a few other things, like a saw, chisel, and tinderbox, because we don't have the tool belt. Then a few things to make a thing. I'm gonna go around, grab all these, and head over to the East of Paradermis. Right over this way. For the quest. It took a bit of doing, but here is olive oil on the altar here. And that is enough to make a maple pyre log, which is good enough. A few other people here. Mostly probably because of the launch of Group Ironman. But we got it done. Most of the other things should be obtainable during the quest. Then we can kind of just start now. Might just go get a few more sharks here. Would be a reasonable idea. Alright, let's start the quest. Talking to Mercenary Adventurer here, right outside the temple. Hello? Yes, and greetings to you. I need to get down to Berg Durat. Will you take me, please? Accept. Legacy of Seergaze. Do you want to go right now? Well, before we set off, I have to say I saw something a bit strange at the entrance to Penerdomus. I just wondered if you think we should warn Drezel? I'm just a bit worried, that's all. What do you mean, strange stuff near Penerdomus? Well, I saw some people going in there who I don't think would normally go in. Yes? I need more than that if I'm going to traipse all the way around there to check it out. Well, at least 6 people went into the building, 3 of whom you'd expect, Zamorakian agents, no doubt. But the other 3 looked a bit different, and one in particular was trying hard to conceal his attire, which had a distinctly Cerdominist appearance. That does sound a bit strange. Can't imagine why a Cerdominist would want to go in the temple with all those Zamorakian monks in there. Perhaps I will check it out. I would check with Drezel first, make sure he's okay, and let him know what you're planning on doing. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Why don't you just check it out yourself then? Well, I have business to attend to in Berg Duran and some friends I want to catch up with. It's been a while since I attempted the route, and the word is that you're the person to see about getting down there. So when you're ready, we can get out into those swamps. Sure, you'll be safe with me guiding you down to Berg Duran. Perfectly good. Yeah. Let's go. Look at this. Talk to Drezel first. Mausoleum entrance. Hey, Drezel. How's it going? These guys don't exist still. Ask about something else. Greetings again, adventurer. How go your travels in Mauritania? Is it as evil as I've heard? Oh yeah. Hey, Drezel. I was just talking to an adventurer waiting for a guide down to Berg Durat. He said he saw some suspicious people near the entrance of Penerdomus. Know anything about it? I'm very sorry, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. I've been busy with some of the restoration work that's been going on in the underground section of the temple. I really wouldn't have noticed anything else going on because it's all so exciting. Restoration work? How is that exciting? There's no need for that tone, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Please try and have some respect for my work here. I'm shoring up some supports for the northmost wall in the well antechamber, when I realized that there was something strange about one section of wall. Strange. I did some investigation of the wall facade and found some stairs. I just had to go down and, in doing so, discover the most amazing thing. Looks like some sort of secret columbarium is down there. Columbarium? What's that? It's a specialized form of burial chamber where the remains of those that have passed away are stored in coffins, which are placed in the walls. It's unique. Wow, that sounds really weird. I should go check it out. I think that's a good idea, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. But now I'm a bit worried about those suspicious people the adventurer saw going into the main temple. Can you also check that out and report back to me what you discover? I'd really appreciate it. Oh, sure. Can you explain a bit about this columbarium? Sure. The columbarium is a specialized form of burial chamber. Usually the remains of those that have passed away are stored in coffins, which are placed in receptacles in the walls. It's unique. There's something strange, though. Few of the coffins have broken open. The only thing inside are some personal effects. Not the bones or ashes you would expect to see. Sounds a bit creepy. It is a bit odd, to be sure. There's also some writing on the coffins, which is written in the old tongue. My translation isn't spot on, but essentially goes, "These worldly gains do I leave to whomever saves me from the dread service of Draken, the fate worse than death." What does that mean, the dread service of Draken? And what about the fate worse than death? I think I have some ideas. And who do you think these suspicious people were? Sorry, remind me what you said about them again? Well, I only know what the mercenary adventurer told me. Apparently there were some Zamorakian and Saradominus figures seen going into the temple. Based on what the adventurer told me, they were all making an effort to hide their appearance. I'm not sure what it's all about. Well, it certainly sounds a bit strange. Almost like they're working together, which is a bizarre notion. Perhaps it's a good idea for you to check it out. Be careful when going to the temple, and make sure you search all the floors and try to find out what's going on. Could just be an effort by the local authorities to take the temple back from the Zamorakians, though. Alright, and in general, just how are things here at the temple? Well, I'm very excited about the research I'm doing on the columbarium. There are some strange slab-like structures, which I believe are funeral pyres. There's a somber but dignified aura within the room. It's a little sad, but a sense of calm pervades the place. And how is Ivan getting along? Well, he's seemed quite distant recently and keeps himself to himself. I'm afraid that there is very little that I can teach him now. To be honest, I fear that he disagrees with some of the teachings of Saradomin, or at least the interpretation of his technique teachings. I haven't seen him for a while now, but no doubt he's around here somewhere. Alright. So, 2 things to go check out here. Go to the columbarium. Down this staircase here. Get a look at what he's restoring down here. It is in the shape of a Saradomin star. I've been making tons of those recently. It's been a whole thing. Got funeral pyres. We got a wall storage with something shining, glimmering. Treasure. You search the wall recess and see something interesting behind. Blimey, a blood talisman. Want to get one of those. Not that we could use it. Oh, we're getting that in a little bit. Now at the bottom here, we have the lectern. Search the lectern and find a book on top. It lists a series of names and very little else. A series of names in a wall coffin area with many funeral pyres. Definitely an interesting place. We got more pressing things to deal with right now, though. Let's get over to the temple. Let's go around this way. Could go out that door and jump up the statue. Or climb around it. However it currently is. Or we're gonna just go this way. This is fine. Get up into the temple here. You can see there's plenty of monks of Zamorak in here still. They're not gonna stop me from going in here. Looking for more interesting guys than these. These are just your run-of-the-mill monk of Zamorak. Nothing too impressive. More monks of Zamorak here. Up on the top floor. A secret meeting. Eh? Strangers? That's suspicious. I better get out of sight. Just do a comment roll behind the coffin here. A mysterious person. So these Gathixian edicts will soon be removed. And not before time. Silence, dog. I didn't give you leave to speak. Looks nasty. Better get ready for trouble. Intruder. Everyone teleport out now. They're just gone. Guards, kill this intruder, then clear the room. Leave nothing behind. Prepare to die. Oh boy. We're going to prepare to pray. Attack Fistendilius and Zamorak Silver. They have no health. Always pray in range. I better watch out. Oh no, they're teleporting away. This isn't over. I'm going to get rid the world of you for good. Okay. I better have a look for some clues so I can convince Druz of what I saw. I can seriously believe it myself. They're supposed to attack with multiple combat styles and then use prayers, and you need to bring up multiple combat styles, but we hit them so hard they just died instantly. The plan was to use the rune pickaxe as our secondary combat style. Turned out kind of unnecessary. That's alright. Blackboard. Good for playing tactics and learning maths. Search the table here. Find a page from a book and a white glove. We have no space for them in your inventory. Have a snack. Find a page from a book and a white glove and put them into your inventory. Inspect the glove. Looks like a plain white glove with a small Ceradoman symbol stitched into it. And a book page. Page torn from a book. The page depicts a map of Misthalin and highlights specific religious centers. Has a faint outline of the symbol of Zamorak on it. We got a Zamarakian thing and a Ceradominus thing. Vampire still in here? Yeah, he's still in there. Gonna just keep him in there. It's fine. Not much of a boss fight. Not much of an even fight at all. So, there you go. Doing what we can here. I think this time we will go around the agility shortcut way here. Just because it's always a good time jumping down here. Hopefully, no vampire or werewolf has high enough agility to jump down here. Now we're down here. Back to Sea Drizzle. Alright. Hey Drizzle! Talking about the quest. Well, my Drizzle, I'm back from the temple and have something to report. Go ahead, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman. Artic? I'm listening. I investigated the temple and found that there were some Ceradominist and Zamarakian conspirators in there who seemed to be working together. Unfortunately, they spotted me and most of them teleported away. Managed to defeat 2 of the Zamarakian bodyguards. I found some clues. Oh, what did you find? I found this Ceradominus glove in this map, which seems to come from a Zamarakian map book. I know it's circumstantial, but I really think there may be some sympathizers in both camps who are working together. Remember they were discussing Gathixian edicts as well? Well, it all sounds a bit strange. In the meantime, I'm going to take that evidence off your hands for safekeeping. We never know when it might come in useful to uncover the true identities of our enemies. Now, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic, I think you owe a certain adventurer a guided trip down to Berg de Rot. You were certainly helpful in spotting this incident. Indeed. But what do you think this all means, though? It's quite troubling, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. Bless Ceradoman's beard that you've discovered this and survived your ordeal. This information may help us figure out the larger struggle. For given sufficient time, of course. Do you think it has anything to do with the Gathixian edicts? What makes you ask that, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic? I know you well enough now, you usually have some ideas before asking your questions. Well, it just seems a bit strange that although Ceradominus and Zamarakian agents were working together, not one of the groups seemed to represent Gothics. If the group were trying to find a way to live together, trying to ease old aggressions, surely some sort of Gathixian mediation would have been helpful. A good point. Gathixian druids have usually been at the forefront of easing tensions between warring factions, especially between Zamarakian and Ceradominus camps. So perhaps the reason Gathixians weren't involved is because they might have interfered with their plans. Or maybe the conspirators were planning some joint venture against the Gathixians. Ceradominus and Zamarakians working together against the followers of Gothics. Sounds a little strange, don't you think? But then again, it certainly seems, in some way, to make some sense. It's all getting a little scary. Alright. So we will go help that adventurer that we found. He was very helpful, telling us about this. Let's get him down to Berg de Rot. Should be a good plan. Hey again, you check out Paradermis like I suggested. You ready to take me to Berg de Rot now? Yes, I checked out Paradermis. And what did you find? It's strange, actually. It looked like Ceradominus and Zamarakian agents were working together. I don't know how I should react. They were talking about Gathixian edicts. Strange. Strange stuff. Yes, it's a bit odd, isn't it? I wouldn't worry too much about just now, especially since I really ought to be traveling down to Berg de Rot. Alright, still want to go to Berg de Rot? Yes, and the sooner the better. You ready to go? I can take you to Berg de Rot. Temple trekking! We don't have any of our temple trekking stuff with us. We got stuff. Let's go the easy path, hope for the best. It's vampires! You got a silver sickle? Yeah. Do I have to attack these vampires? We evade the path. Continue track. The quest version. I guess this is kind of where we need the silver sickle. Evade trek option on this. RS3 adventure. What can I do to help? Fight them. What can I do to help? I do what to do here. I have no way to deal with these, sorry. Do you not? You got a sickle. Just attack. Grumble, grumble, grumble. See if we jump back in here. See if it's always gonna be this. We're just in the swamp now. That's not ideal. That'll work. He's got druid pouches. Guess for the gas at least. Seems like this might technically just actually be a temple trek. Or Bergdorf ramble in this case. Just make our way through here. As long as we don't get Juvenants, I suppose. Ah, we did again. Maybe I'll just go make a silver sickle. Also switched out for the rock shell. So we're going to be doing more melee here. We got the silver sickle blessed here. It'll get the job done. Slowly. Mercenary adventurer. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it this time. Definitely would have had absolutely horrific accuracy. We still have the spine on. Anyways. Make our way through this. It's also possible that this is just more determined or only specific things can happen. Right, we need a knife for this. We can grab that from this backpack. Seems to be empty. I mean, there should be a knife in here, but it's removed because the tool belt exists. I'm going to have a knife. We're definitely doing more temple trekking here than I expected. Items that we needed. We've got a knife now. Whatever. This is a system, is what this is. This is a system. What other temple trekking are we gonna need to do here? My goodness. Let me just get through the swamps. There we are. Stranger removes his helmet. It's Ivan Strom. Hey, thanks for giving me to Burn Durant, Harport Ultimate Ironman Artic. Now I can go see my friends. What? Ivan, you tricked me. Don't be angry, Harport Ultimate Ironman Artic. I didn't mean to trick you, but I had to visit my friends, the Monarchy, and continue the fight against Draken. Ivan walks off towards the dilapidated inn. That is where the base is here. After all that we did to get him out of here previously, and just tricks us to bring him back. My goodness. Drop down in here. And hey, Veliev. Sorry about what I've done. Well, Veliev, good to see you again. Likewise, Harcourt, what's up, our man Artic? What news is there from your many travels? I am sorry to say that Ivan tricked me into bringing him down to Bergdorf. I'm really quite angry about that. I know it's not really your fault, but he just doesn't realize the dangers down here. And I'd have expected you to check a bit more before setting off with someone so young. There's no need to take it out on me. Anyway, he's not so young. It's dangerous for all of us, and he's part of this group. He accepts the dangers like everyone else in the monarchy. Why are you so concerned anyway? It's complicated. Ivan is our special charge. I don't want to go into details, but we need to ensure his safety. This isn't really a safe place. Well, 10 out of 10 for secrecy. You should talk to Druz about keeping things under your hat. You'd get on like a house on fire. Anyway, let's not argue. There's plenty of other, more useful things for me to be doing, I'm sure. You're right, Harcourt Ironman Artic. And I do have a job for you when you finish being impertinent to your direct superior. But maybe you've got some news for me as well. Remember, your connection to the outside world. What have you got to tell me? Ceredominus and Zamorakan forces may be working together. What? It's not certain, but I really feel that something strange is going on. Okay, start from the top. What happened? Well, actually, it was Ivan who gave me the tip-off. He saw some suspicious sorts going to Paradomus, so I checked it out. Went up to the top floor, and there were 6 guys in there, plotting away. 2 Zamorakian bodyguards had a go, and they were tough, switching prayers, changing attack styles. We were embellishing here, my goodness. They sound like experienced fighters, but you defeated them, good job. I've come to rely on you. It would have been a shame to lose you. 6 guys, you say? Yeah, I reckon 3 Zamorakians and 3 Ceradominists. Working together? No, it couldn't be. I saw it with my own eyes. I never would have considered that. Very strange. The only thing I can think of is that they're part of some splinter group. Well, I guess we won't properly know through speculation. Best to keep our eyes peeled and our ears to the ground. And what's been going on down here? The influx of mercenaries is certainly helping, although we've not been able to make an impact on the Firewatch yet. We are managing to reduce the impact of the Juvenates, though. Blood tithes and outlying settlements seem to have been reduced. Sounds good. It's a start. There's so much more we need to do. I don't need to tell you how much people are suffering in Meredith. The stories I hear coming out of that place chill my blood. Wish we could just find some way to take those Firewatch down. Then we'd have a real chance at bloodying Draken's nose. And do you have anything for me? Got a job? I do indeed. The letter you brought back from Sapphiland mentioned that they needed some basic provisions. I've got them all stored in a crate, just need you to deliver it for me. Is that it? I'm a delivery boy? Well, I have an inkling that Sapphiland will have some task for you. Word has reached us that a researcher is working on a new weapon to try to defeat the Firewatch. My guess is that they could probably get a bit further if you're on hand. You certainly came up with the goods when discovering the Rod of Avandis. Okay then, let's have this crate of provisions. It gives you a crate stacked with provisions. Of course, I'm assuming you remember the way. Hey, I know the route like the back of my hand. Take the boat around to the Sanguisti region, follow the sickle signs to the base. How hard can it be? Anyway, if I get stuck, I can always talk to Old Man Ral. He'll set me straight. Okay. Very good. Now we need to get to the other Myrkey base. All the way in Myrditch. Yay. Could potentially go get... I'm not sure where we even get the special key that opens some doors, or which doors it opens, really. We're just gonna get there. It's gonna be a little bit of a process. Just took the get sent to the mines shortcut, so I didn't need to do the whole maze bit. Here we are, back at the other base here. Hey, Sapphiland, how's it going? Lost the key I was given opens the shortcut doors. I don't really care about that, but he's gonna give it to me anyway. Here's another. You're in another key. Very helpful, since I've made it all the way here without needing it. Anyways. Well met, Sapphiland. Well met, friend. I'm very sorry, but you've caught me at a bit of a busy time. Could you discuss any issues with Phlegian, our researcher? I'm sure he'll have plenty of things for you to do. Anyway, boss, you reckon the door in the laboratory? Oh, sorry if I interrupted. Talk to Phlegian. Phlegian's group. Hey there. I brought you some provisions from the Bergdarat base. Fantastic. These things will help out a lot. Tools and supplies, all sorts of stuff. What things were in the crate? Oh, just some handy items which we'll need for our research. Some food and potions for the local fighters and sick folk. Yeah, very good. How are things going here? It's still a terrible existence, living every day, living in fear. But there's a sense of hope since you turned up on the scene. Personally, I've been researching the book on heme alchemy. It's been a tricky task, requiring a lot of pattern matching and extensive research into old lore and languages. Wow, that sounds pretty complicated. Do you have a lot of knowledge in that area? I'm rather experienced, but I don't like to blow my own trumpet. In fact, it's a terrible thing to admit, but the majority of my knowledge is pretty theoretical. I'm afraid I'm all thumbs when it comes to doing something practical. Well, I don't think you need to worry about that. That's something I seem to have a knack for. Well, it sounds like we might make a pretty good team then. Alright. So how's the research going? Quite interesting, in fact. I'm trying to deduce what weapon we should use to fight the Firewatch. How so? You find something out from the book on Hame Alchemy? As a matter of fact, we did, young Harcourt Ironman, Artic. Of course, we have to interpret quite a bit. My research indicates something quite startling. Oh, what sort of thing? It's always been difficult to damage vampires, right? They seem to have an excellent defense against our weapons. Seems they have protection against normal metallic weapons. Yes, we know this already. But they also seem to defend well against the silver weapons. The Firewatch aren't even damaged by it. From the Hame Alchemy book, I believe I've found some evidence to support the idea that vampires, especially Firewatch, have limited mind-reading ability. Some sort of like an imminent danger sensory perception. How does this affect us? Well, they can sort of predict the next attack maneuver, so they can defend against it or simply move out of its way in time to take no damage at all. It seems to come naturally to them. Well, that's terrible. We'll never have a chance against them in hand-to-hand combat if this is true. Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I've been thinking about it, and word of hand-to-hand combat isn't always as predictable as you'd think. The world of hand-to-hand combat. Oh my. I hear from many warriors that the tide of battle has switched over some small, seemingly random detail. Alright. So, can I help in some way? Certainly. That would be great. My research indicates that a weapon which is difficult to master would be a great design for taking down the Firewatch. Something raw recruits fear to use and experienced warriors tend to shy away from. How can I find out about the weapon? Well, you could start with some of the local fighters in the monarchy. They possibly have some insight into such matters. Alright. Weapon research. Here we go. Got Kale here. Wonder if I could ask you some questions. It depends. What sort of questions? Well, you look like a fighter type. Perhaps you have some experience with weapons and need to learn about them. Well, I'll try. What do you want to know? Flagian is looking for a weapon that we can use to fight against the Firewatch. Oh yes, okay. The weapon has to be quite difficult to master and a little bit unpredictable. Flail. Flail. Aye, a flail. That'll do ya. Although I doubt anyone I know would use such a weapon. It's the bane of any fighter. Difficult to use, hard to predict. You can even end up hitting yourself if you're not careful. You're sure it's a flail? Has anyone used a flail against the Firewatch and damaged them? Well, a mercenary came down with a Verox flail, and that didn't do anything. I expect that's because it's not made of silver or some such reasons. If I'm not very much mistaken, a flail is what you need for an unpredictable fight. You don't believe me, you can probably find a book around here which will tell you exactly the same thing. I think some new recruit was using it for a bit of late night reading. Right, okay, that was simple enough. Let's see if we find a book about a flail. We got lockers here, bunks, book looking. Search around for a book. Well, a few personal items. The bunk has personal items. It's only bunk bed. Find a book on combat. I'm gonna read the book on combat. Seems quite worn. Skip past spears on page 72 and hammers on page 70. We enjoy reading a little about ranged weapons on page 76. The entry on flails is on page 75, quite brief. Taking note of the importance of correct posture on page 78 and suitable armor options on page 80, realize that the flail is probably the weapon you're looking for. Reading briefly, you realize the flail is a difficult weapon to master. Many quotes from eminent warriors attest to the weapon's strange handling and unwielding manner of attack. Sounds about right. Bring this information back over to Flagian. Hey, Flagian. We've got what we need. Hey there, I found a book which backs up what a fighter said. Both reckon that flails are the most unpredictable weapon. I think this is what you should try to make. Interesting. So far, so good. Did you do your own research? Which page do I need to read from? I'm a busy man, remember? I don't want to have to read an entire book. Okay, the page number is 75. Hand the book over to the researcher. He quickly flicks through the pages. Next word summarizes the information at hand. Excellent research, my budding young understudy. Your diligent and observant efforts may have rewarded with another opportunity to prove yourself. Oh, so there's something else you need me to do? Indeed, young hardcore ultimate Ironman Artic. But you'll need 2 free inventory slots for the job I have in mind. Fine. I'll eat a shark in front of you. Lillian gives you a hammer and some nails. Indeed, young hardcore ultimate Ironman Artic. And this will require a bit of field work, which Savlan tells me you're quite accomplished at. He flatters me. I just hope I've proven useful to the Marquis cause. As we all do. Anyway, in order to develop this new weapon, we'll need to use the Rod of Avandis as base and design a way to make it more powerful. Within the development stage, we'll certainly need to use a furnace. Okay, well there's one in Bergderot, but it's a bit of a trek. Perhaps we should consider building one here in Meredith. I'm hoping that won't be necessary. I've learned through Meredith folklore that there's a building in the north which used to house a furnace. The story goes that the locals complained about its smoke going into their shops and houses, so the owner was forced to move it upstairs to let the smoke blow over the rooftops. Okay, interesting story. If you heard this through folklore, surely the furnace won't be functional anymore, even if I do manage to find it. I think it's worth checking out. I'd like you to head north through the ghetto of Meredith, past the laboratory and you found previously. I believe the furnace is near to the northern brick wall. You may need to use a nearby building to help you enter the house with the furnace. Take the nails I gave you. You may be able to make a crude ladder as some of us do when traversing the ghetto. If you find the furnace, see if it's serviceable, otherwise just report back. Good luck. Alright. Go to a furnace. Or even repair a furnace. Wouldn't it be the first time we repair a furnace down here in Mauritania? Although the last time we repaired the furnace, it attracted vampires, so pros and cons, I suppose. Let's get out of the base here. Need to go north. Need to go up and around and over and down. It's a process. Down here. Up here. Got a free hammer. It's fun. One of the pre-tool belt kind of businesses here too. Or maybe we actually need the hammer. There still continues to be situations where things on the tool belt don't actually work. Better safe than sorry. Stand where you are. You look positively delicious. Let me help you lose a bit of weight. Either I get a bite or you do my bidding, which will it be, meat sack? Blood tithe. I also tried running away. Doesn't matter either way. Take a chunk out of my neck. 6 damage. Oh no. Anyways. Heading to the north. Almost all the way to the wall, he says. Here is various buildings. Got a bucket of water. We got a mess of debris here. Could be a furnace. Got buildings here. Make a ladder on this wooden post. Another bucket of water. Lots of buckets of water. Climb up the post. Make a climbable post. Love it. Jump to here. Jump to here. Jump to here. Jumping all around. And jump into this damaged wall. Hope this works. Smash. Very good. Got ladders in this northernmost of buildings. Here is a coal barrel. Here's a trough. Trough looks like it belonged to the furnace at one point. You had to peer over the edge at the hole in the floor. So I have to funnel the furnace under a pile of debris. Perhaps you can still get to it if you can clear that debris off. That's what a pickaxe is for. We already have a better pickaxe. Got a tinderbox. We already have a tinderbox. Got most of the stuff we need here. Down. And down some more. Search. Mass of debris. Looks like a pile of debris. Notice a funnel coming out of the top. Dig the mass of debris. And luckily we don't need to put it into 15 buckets like we did before. Clear the debris. Empty furnace. Looks like it might work. Put coal in there. Place one on the wonky furnace. Light the furnace. Manage to light the furnace. There you go. And now, it is in fact a furnace. Lovely stuff. Open this door from down here. Seems to be locked. Locked from both sides, huh? Wild. Unfortunately, it's no longer up top, so the smoke billows away. But maybe we kind of don't want the smoke billowing away, honestly. Could just be better for it to be where it is. Jumping back through the town here. Luckily we can avoid most of it with the mines technology. Just need to get caught by a guard on the way in. Can sometimes take a little bit. But anyways, we got what we needed there. I just need to get back and report our success. Got the furnace going. Could be helpful. If we want to make something here. That is kind of the plan, so here we are. Back down here. Push the wall. Push the symbol. Open the rug. Down inside. It is a process out here in Ironman. It is a process. Okay. Back to Flagon. And there. Got some tools and such here too. Cool, cool. So I'm Flagon. I've returned. Did you manage to find the furnace at all? I did, but sad news, my friend. It's damaged and in very poor condition. Oh, as I feared. But I fixed it. It's working. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. This really is great news. Okay, Flagon. Do you have anything else for me to do? I think I'm on a roll here. What else do we need to do in order to get this Firewatch weapon into production? Okay, in order to make a flail from the round of Vandis, we'll need to get a length of silveril chain. There's a mold for creating silveril chain in the crate near the ladders. Also needs something we can use as the flail head to attach to the chain. So have a think about that while you're on your journey. Okay, so you need a length of silveril chain. I guess I'll need some raw materials to make that. And you also want me to have a think about a flail head to go on the end of the chain that'll complete the flail? Okay, I think I may have some ideas. If you need some resources, you may find some around here. Help yourself, but within reason, okay? Let's get some resources from around here. Search the tool rack. Crude tools. Crude tools. Shelf contains an extra silver sickle. Sure. Boxes. We got bars. Sufficient space we need in one go. Need 4 free inventory spaces. My goodness. Silver, and mithril for making silthril. And we need the chain mold too from near the door. These are just regular lockers. This box has something in it. Papyrus. No, not what we need. Okay. Let's get the mold or whatever. One of these crates. Got a lot of crates. You don't need those. You say so. And over here we got more lockers and such. Find a mold that looks like a mini ring-shaped impressions. Feel certain this is used to make a short length of chain. Well, that's the dream. A short length of chain. Alright. Various bits here. Back up we go. And back to the furnace. Because of course. One thing of note, we do not have the Rod of Avandis with us. So at whatever point we mention we don't have that on us, we might need to actually go just make another one, and or just go get it back, maybe, if that's a thing. Worst case scenario, we just go make another Rod of Avandis. That's okay. And that does have extra steps, too, that we can't just do here in Meredith. So, we will see. Quest didn't say specifically that we needed it, so maybe we can get away with it. Back to the furnace here. Still quicker than leaving to go to a different furnace and then trying to get sent back to the mines and everything. It's worth it. It's worth it. Climb through the wall. It's already destroyed, so we can easily jump through. Whee! And down to the furnace. We just bust open some front doors here. It'd be a lot more convenient. Anyways, Sylve Thrill Chain. Make one, I guess. And that it? Can't make the Sylve Thrill Rod since we don't have the clay mold or the sapphire. Like I said, we got 2 silver and mithril is a question. It's definitely something. Anyways, and that is the Sylve Thrill Chain made. So we can just get right on back to the base again. Just walking back again. 1 chain and a sickle. Full again. The researcher, the Lust Silver Sickle. How about using this as the head for the flail? I'm not sure. Okay, consider it this way. It's very similar to the Mire Key, resistance against the vampires. You know what? You're right. It's the absolute perfect thing. With its strange shape, it'll be even more unpredictable in combat. Not only will the flail be difficult to wield and use, the strange shape of the sickle will also add to its unpredictable behavior. And the less servable sickle and the Sylve Thrill Chain to the researcher. Yes, I'm sure you're right. Most fighters should get used to using it with time. And that's the great and most noble thing about us mortals. With enough determination, we can adapt to our environment and take on the most difficult of challenges. Great idea, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. I'm going to work on this right away. I reckon I can get 30 stun charges out of the Flail of Avandis. If I had an emerald into the sickle, I just need to find a way to do this. Oh well, researcher's work is never done. Now I think you should go and let Sapphire know the good news about this. I'm sure he'll be more than pleased. Yeah. Sapphire, how's it going? Flayan says to report that the development of the Avandis Flail is well underway. Should be smooth sailing. It's nice to see you again, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. And that's great news. Hopefully Flayan will come up with a solution to the Firewatch problem. But on to other matters. I have a proposition for you, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Please allow me to introduce you to Andy's Jupe. Well met, nice to meet you. And Kale Forshaw. Well met, friend. Well met, both of you. The 3 of us are thinking about exploring the laboratory. Could be great to have someone with your skill and expertise, just in case we run into trouble. What do you hope to do in the room? Well, we really want to see if the room leads anywhere. There's a very solid door in the laboratory, but we can't seem to get it open. Camera in that part of the room is quite weak. We reckon it'll fall down if we try to force the doors, so we're going to see if there's another way through. Okay, we want to think about it. Fair enough. Decide to come along, meet us there. Saflan, you think we should take anything with us? You know, to try to get through the door? I say we just get there, do a good recon, and then come back for anything else we need. Kale, what sort of things do you think we'll need? Good question. The door is really solid construction. That's a good point. It's a very solid, well-made door, good quality construction. Okay, well, I think we'll head off in a bit. See you there, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. Alright. To the laboratory. Laboratory? Laboratory? Either way. To the lab. Running. Back over there. Not quite as far as the furnace, but still something. The inventory is becoming quite the mess here. I guess that's fine. We will get where we're going here. If we ever get the Rod of Avandis here, we're just going to have gotten a free silver mithril bar. Which isn't bad by any means. We'll take it. We will see what the situation is here by the end. Got more pieces we need to put together here. Just need to run back up north again here. Keep getting caught by Firewatch. Did manage to get the sneak away option on one of them. That was pretty good. This is... I'm just going to go from this side to the lamb. Around this way. All sorts of places that used to be shops and stuff. Quite the mess in here. Quite the mess. Through the slash tapestry. Open this door because we have the key. Still there. And down we go. Something doesn't seem quite right. It's a bit dark down here, and it's too quiet. Hello? Is there anyone here? And they're dead. Oh no, Snaphalan and the Marquee Fighters. Dun dun dun. Hey. Snaphalan, you okay? Ah. 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 Ah, ah, ah. Did you see him jump? Ah, we scared you, didn't we? That wasn't funny. It was pretty funny. Oh, come on. You jumped out of your skin. Well, guess I did a bit. I knew it. Have to keep the spirits up, you know? And like a bit of fright to make you feel human again. What are we doing down here? Well, we came to check this door out. The one in the south corner. Really very solid, and we're just not sure what to do. What are our options? Not many, I'm afraid. Both Andes and Kale say that the door is very well constructed. It's very solid, and apparently that's just as well, because the cavern roof above the door is quite weak. None of us have any experience with things like this. We just build makeshift shelters and clear out old ruined basements to make somewhere to live. Anything I can do? We really hope that we can find a way to get through this big door. It's frustrating not being able to properly explore this tunnel on the other side of the door. Okay, well, I can see that the door is very solidly built. It also looks as if the ceiling above the door is quite weak, so we can't try forcing it. What we need is a more sophisticated solution. Well, that sounds good. If you come up with something, please go ahead and try it. Alright. I'm the ideas guy, and the getting things done guy. It's a system out here. Here is the door. Down the south here. The door seems to be well made, good construction. There's a thin gap between the doors into which a bladed tool might be inserted. Insert a saw. And we cut a door in the door. And it doesn't fall apart. So that's great. I saw him through the door and kicked out a hole. Should be able to get through now. Okay, you go through the hole and we'll follow behind. Hey. Climb through a door. Okay, good work getting us through that door. We're going to go ahead, catch up with us later. Alright. New tunnel. Oh boy. Very exciting. Making our way through the tunnel. Long tunnel. Definitely going places. Having a good time. Running through the tunnel. Where's Snaphalan? Here is mutated bloodvelds. Like bloodvelds. Only mutated here. Also we got skeletal hands, zombie hands. Lots of fun stuff in here. And also, if you're not feeling mutated blood velds, just have regular blood velds. Also an option. Some logs and a tinderbox for a broken range. Sorts of crazy cages and stuff. These are options for more Slayer XP on crawling hand and blood velds tasks. But I'd have to check to see if mutated blood velds are even actually stronger than regular blood velds anymore. It's also a bit of a trek to get down in here. One thing of note, let's see if we can't pop over this way, is that this tunnel actually continues even further. Let's see if we have this unlocked here. In here is where we need to be. So I'm gonna go this way first. Depends on if the shortcut's actually unlocked before finishing the quest here. Running this way. Got a agility shortcut here. Squeeze past a jutting wall. Why they made this whole tunnel with a tiny bit of the wall that's way too close to each other is a good question. Potentially some kind of cave-in or something. That could be it. All the way at the end of this tunnel, we can enter a cave entrance, which leads us to the Radva Vandus location. And that leads back out to the Marquee Tunnel that goes from Canifis to the middle of the swamp. So now, we can go from Canifis to the in-basement, to the Marquee Tunnel, the Vandus area, to this tunnel that leads all the way back over to Mire Ditch. Another way to get there without going through the maze of a city. Even though it is quite the trek. Squeeze past here again. Actually go see Sapline here. Running. Running. So much running. Better to run through a giant corridor than try to go to the mines in the city? Probably yes. Well, there shouldn't be too many more times we need to deal with Meredith. Updates in the future. Good stuff's coming. Good stuff is coming. Anyways, let us actually get over to Sapline here. Should be in here. Cutscene. Or pseudo cutscene. People are here now. Or in a different section, you can see by the map. But hey there, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. I'm glad you caught up with us. These tunnels are long. Indeed. Do you see those odd rooms filled with strange creatures back there? Yes, strange. Anyway, what's this room about? I'm not sure, but I sense a strange magical aura about it. Do you sense it? You can search that selection of rocks in the north of the room, and Iskil and myself are going to search the rest of the room. Okay, fair enough. Search the strange stones. Got coffins, raised coffins. Search the strange skull-shaped rock. Seems familiar to you. At the same time, somehow strange. It's really a sense of foreboding magical energy. After some time, you think you've discovered all you can about this thing. What does this thing remind me of? Somehow familiar. Should probably report back to Sapline. It is strange bloody stones. Hi, Sapline. Checked out those stones. They do seem magical. I've experienced something similar to this before, but I just can't quite place it. Okay, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Good work. We want to get out of here pretty soon, since then our expedition might be in some danger. Correct. Firewatch. Meat sacks. No spear practice. Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Attack the virus. We'll get Sapline out. Attacking. Oh no, he's down. Let's go. It does nothing. Something seems to be getting weaker. We can't do anything. We didn't finish our thing that can actually fight Firewatch. It's a problem. We're having problems here. Let me get the other one. Oh, he is glowing. What's happening to Saffron? And he exploded. Firewatch are backing off. Saffron, are you okay? Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic. I'm very weak. Help me back to base. What happened? Are you okay? Please, just get back to the base. We'll talk then. And we actually get back to the base, which is nice. Oh my. Saffron, how's it going? Hi Saffron, how are you? Oh, I'm okay. You know me. Listen, about what happened back in the tunnels, I want you to keep that quiet, okay? At some point we'll talk about it, but not now. We have other things to do. Okay, if that's what you want. But I'm very curious. I understand. There's just no time for this. I don't really understand it myself. Anyway, looks like my researcher, Flagian, has had enough of trying to make this flail of a Vandus. Left a bunch of stuff on my desk. Do you think you could sort it all out for me? Sure, I can look into it. He's left quite a bit of stuff here. You'll need 4 empty inventory slots for me to give you all the stuff. Come back when you have 4 empty slots. I'll drop a shark this time. Into me. Ready for things. Alright. Sort it all out? You betcha. Great. Here, take this stuff off me. Still gives you some items. Blimey. We get a Rod of Vandus, a Silver Thrill chain and sickle, and an emerald. Let's pop all that together. And all the items in your inventory at the same time to make a flail. Use the sickle on the thing. Seem ready for using that way. Use the emerald on the sickle. So an emerald adorned blessed silver sickle. Use the sickle here. Not ready because it's not enchanted. Got some runes somewhere. I should have some runes somewhere. I'm gonna read the instructions for the flail here. Hastily written idea. Well, how to construct something called the Vandus flail. It requires a silver chain to connect blessed silver sickle to 2. Or to increase charges for flail, you'd add an emerald to the sickle before the chain's attached. It's difficult to make a big hole for emerald to just fit in sickle, and I'm just frustrated. Remember, to make this work is just crazy. Why won't it just work? I'm having time. Any runes in a pile here somewhere? Should be. There's on the list of things that should exist. We've already taken our sickle, it's fine. We got lockers and barrels. A little more than personal items. Personal items. There's a box with papyrus in it. That's not it. We need to enchant this. So we need a cosmic rune. Somewhere. Better to look around than go all the way to a bank. We were looking at this box earlier, we didn't need it. Still don't need what's in this box. Contains smoke bombs. Okay. Sure. Lockers. We talked to some people. Also an option. Keep searching stuff. See, iron craters might be useful. You have insufficient space. Is it runes? Have we found the sickle mold? No, no, it's not. Personal items. Personal items. Could have been over in the laboratory or something. Maybe we didn't look around enough. Specifically, we need to get a cosmic rune. We already have the air runes. That aren't much as under control. Let's keep looking around. Looks like there would have been some runes on a corpse next to the bloody skulls. But we didn't search it, so we didn't get it. So instead we just came over here to Alleymorsane. Got a cosmic rune. And that will complete everything we need here. Enchant the silver sickle. Use it with the chain and the rod. Construct a wonderfully attractive Avandis flail. Much better than just a blessed silver sickle here. We hold it really weird. It's not flailing around, it's just kind of stuck on stuff. Let's see how it looks like when we attack stuff with it. Well, that is the Avandis flail. Now we need to go from the desert back to the swamp. I guess I'll take the new super long shortcut tunnel. It's something. The run was so long we ran out of run on the way over. But we're back now. Talk to Saflan. Hi, Saflan. I've made the Avandis flail. Incredible. There seems to be no end to your talents, Ironman, Artic. Do you really think this can damage Firewatch? We really hope so, Ironman, Artic. The survival of the Marquis may actually rest on this weapon. In fact, I think this should be your next mission. Mission? What do you mean? I know it sounds dangerous, but go and test that flail on a Firewatch in hand-to-hand combat. If you're able to destroy the thing, all well and good, but don't risk anything. If there are any remains, bring them here so we can research them. Okay then, here I go. One dead Firewatch coming right up. Whee! Alright. Well, that was the plan here. Makes sense. To go and test it. And of course, we're the one that has to go test it. None of these other guys could. We're the best. And yet everyone still outranks us. It's a system here. Firewatch. We'll fight him. So just lure him down here or something. Jumping around. Making our way. Which direction? Closest one here. One there, but we'll go this one. Attack the Firewatch. We just smack them with it tied around it. Oh, that's not. I don't know how that's supposed to look. I guess they didn't want the flail animations anymore. It also changed Varric's flail. It's supposed to swing around and be a whole fun time. Yeah. We got a Vire Corpse. Noteworthy. Also, it was a very easy kill. So, bring that back into the base. Jumping around over and over and all around. Quite the process here. Push the wall, open the rug, climb down the trapdoor. Got the Vire Corpse. Definitely something. Definitely something. Alright. Cephalan. Victory is ours. Good news, Cephalan. The Avandis flail is a Firewatch killer. What great news, Ironman, Artic. Okay, well, as Flagan still hasn't returned, it seems as if we can't really do any research on the remains. Oh, that's a bit annoying. Came all the way back. Ironman, Artic. You're a private in the Marquis, and we each have to bear some hardships. Now report to Veliath and brief him on what has happened here. Yes, sir. Then take some Firewatch remains to Drezel and see what his thoughts are. See if he can get any useful information on more effective ways of killing these beasts. Report any findings to Veliath. Yes, sir. Well, those are your orders, Private. Move out. Just killed a Firewatch. He's like, complain, complain, complain. Back to Veliath, then. Much easier to teleport out of here and get back to there. Still have to get to Berg de Rot. Also, annoying place to get to. Hello, Veliath. Well met. Good to see you again. Likewise, Ironman, Artic. What news is there from your many travels? Hey, Veliath, well met. Great news, we've created an artifact that can actually harm the Firewatch. May Ceridoma be praised. Tell me all about it. The flail of Avandis kills Firewatch. The researcher at the Sanguinity Marquis base has some ideas about improving the Rod of Avandis. I did some research with the local fighters within the Marquis base. They were great. The struggle against the vampires requires everyone's efforts. From the most experienced fighter to the most wizened old maid. But tell me of its construction. That's what I'm most interested to hear about. Yes, it's a fascinating subject. Essentially, the researcher discovered that vampires have a limited mind-reading ability, allowing them to comprehend which combat moves we're likely to make next, so they can defend against it and reduce damage. Well, we worked out that the flail is the least predictable weapon to fight with, so even if the vampires did understand our intention, we may not have the experience to pull that attack off and land a rather unpredictable hit, which the vampires couldn't defend against. Bless Sarah Doman's beard. The flail itself is constructed from a rod of Vandus with 10 charges, a length of silver thrill chain, and blessed silver sickle, which had an emerald placed into it, which is then enchanted. Great story, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. And I killed a Firewatch with the flail of Vandus. Yes, Saffron says we should study its corpse to see if it reveals any details about better ways to kill them. The corpse has become hard like iron, what's light as wood. Saffron reckons that Drezel might have some ideas about what it means. Well, as a priest, Drezel is quite well versed in the burial rites that have been observed over many years. His knowledge and intuition should serve you well in this matter. So you think I should show the corpse to Drezel? That's what I'd do, friend. At the worst, he'll probably tell you who can help with the corpse. Alright. I'm not going to tell him about what happened with Saffron. That's a secret. So we will go talk to Drezel. And at least that's easier to get to. All you do is go to the house and go to Canifus. It's pretty great. I'm getting a lot of good use out of this portal here. Been using all the portals. It's very nice. Save some inventory spaces at least. So that counts for something. I'm getting really low on teleports here. That's actually fine. More space for activities, potentially. It's a thought. Anyways. Back into the mausoleum here. Talk to Drezel. Hey, Drezel. Not about items. What should I do now? Your mission from Veliath and Sanguinity Region were Tanya, weren't you? May have been a bit too busy with research to come by to really keep abreast of your travels, my friend. Is there remiss of me? But it's not every day you get a chance to research such a fascinating find. One of our corpse? No? We have to tell him about Safflan? Where's a secret giver? My goodness. What should I do now? He says. Well, we don't obviously know what we need to do now is go talk to Drezel. My best suggestion is to take a Varrock's corpse to Drezel, see what he makes of it. Report back to me when you get some answers. That seems like a good plan. That's it. A bit of an unnecessary additional dialogue there. My goodness. Done looking at your stuff now, Drezel? Well, my Drezel, I have much news for you. I've had a mission in the Sanguinity region, and with the help of some researchers in the Myrditch, we're able to create a magical flail that actually harms the Firewatch. Managed to destroy one and brought you the remains to investigate. This is good news, Ironman Artic. It's very odd how the corpse has adopted a strange quality to the touch. Rather like heavy, but well-weathered wood. Oh my! What is it, Drezel? What's wrong? I sense a terrible turmoil within. A soul lost in oblivion, racked with guilt and tortured by the lure of evil demonic pleasures. Oh, we must find some way to release this poor soul. Strange you should say that. Sounds very similar to something I've heard about somewhere. Where was it? Sure it was in Mauritania somewhere. Near a temple, a small village. Well, I hope you remember soon, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Every second this poor being is tortured seems to age me by a month. I pray to Saradoma that you remember and set this poor soul to rest. And it is the Virecorpse. I've told me to show you this Virecorpse. I've already told you what you should try to find someone to sanctify its remains and poor creature's tortured soul to rest. What should I do now? The mission for Veliath is over. Focus on finding a way to lay the remains of that Firewatch to rest. Go visit the Columbarium. Perhaps some peace in the sepulchral atmosphere will allow you to see a way to do that. The Columbarium. with the pyres. They're just like the ones in Morton. Except for Firewatch. It's a slight difference. Anyways. Fire corpse on the funeral pyre with the logs that we got all the way back at the start there. We'll light the pyre, and the fire spirit rises up. Here's a transition troubled spirit to a peaceful end. Very special key appears on the pedestal. Take ornate key. Open the wall with the key. Clink. Find a blood talisman in the locker. Neat. Oh, well done! You seem to have cracked the puzzle of the columbarium. Perhaps there are more riches to be had with more cremations. Drizzle, you made me jump. Sounds, this talisman looks great, though. Ah, yes. We'll need protection before we can use it. Prepare for the blessings of Severidomen. What? Oh, okay. Basidium, Amphidium. Drizzle, heads back upstairs. You admire her newly found Blood Rune Talisman. Nifty. The Blood Rune Talisman. Access to the Blood Rune Crafting Altar. Or you just go through the Abyss. That's also an option. Back to Veliath. What if we had an easier way to get to Berg de Rot? Later. But before we head additional places, Drizzle! I'm a Drizzle. I managed to lay that poor Firewatch corpse to rest. You saw me, I was down there. I know, Ironman Artic. It was a really great insight to work out what to do. Columbarium seems filled with a sense of peace, tranquility, and the blessings of a gratefully departed soul. Why did I get a Columbarium key when I cremated the Firewatch? Yes, it seemed a little odd to me as well. My research has shed some light on this, and I think I know what happened, but it's a long story. Okay, go on. Anyway, my research indicates the land of Mortania was known as Hallowvale before Draken and his vampiric kin took over. Apparently not everyone who lived in Hallowvale was able to escape to Mistland before Draken's forces had taken over the realm. I think I told you all that, didn't I? It seems to me that those people who couldn't escape to Mistland engaged in a special religious ceremony. Petrified of losing their eternal souls to Draken, they knew they couldn't avoid being taken over by him, so they made a special sort of deal with Severidomen. Someone was to come and save them from Draken, the fate worse than death. When their eternal soul is sent to Severidomen, the savior will gain the key to their worldly possessions. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Must have been a very special ceremony. Indeed, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. And thus you see the power and might that is Severidomen. What should I do now? I've been reporting what you've discovered to Veliath. He may be able to use the information somehow. Oh, I hope not. I'm bushed. Okay, thanks. What should I do now? We know what we need to do now. They already told us what to do now 4 steps ago. Now, back to Berg de Rot. Alright, we're back, Veliath. Well, Veliath, good to see you again. And again and again. Likewise, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. What news is there from your many travels? I visited Drizzle like you asked, Veliath. Had great success. Able to find a way to bring peace at last to the spirit inside the dead Firewatch. Tell me all about it, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Well, I was able to place the Firewatch on a pyre in the Paranomus Columbarium with some pyre logs, and then set fire to it. The remains burned and the spirit was released, leaving a special key on a nearby pedestal. A key, you say? What does it do? The key opened a special receptacle in one of the walls of the Columbarium. I found an unbelievable treasure. What was it? I have to know. I found a blood talisman. Severidomen's beard. I know, I nearly fainted. I believe there's plenty more treasure locked up in the Columbarium, ready for anyone who can release the spirits of the terrible Firewatch that patrol Meyerditch. As if you need treasure to motivate you to kill those terrible beasts. Well, I'm not primarily motivated by treasure, though it certainly does help to fund my adventuring, and, of course, lending a hand to worthy causes. But think about it, Veliath. Should motivate the mercenaries like never before. Oh yes, I hadn't thought of that. Good thinking. Anyway, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, Artic, I think you've completed a very worthwhile mission. Congratulations. I'd like to give you something as a token of appreciation, and once again, congratulations on a job well done. If you you a 3 charge total experience, 2nd edition. Quest complete. A lot of running around Mauritania here, but we made it. 2 quest points, total experience, 3 chapters of 2.5k XP each, 3,000 magic, 2,000 agility, 4,000 crafting, 2,000 mining, 1,000 construction, 2,000 slayer XP, the Avandis flail, the blood talisman, which we can use to craft blood runes with level 77 rune crafting, but also we don't need it because we can just go through the abyss instead. Access to the Maradich dungeon, a shortcut between Canvas and Maradich. Well, that's fun. Go fight the mutated blood velds and the hands if we wanted to. I'll just see if those are even worth it. Once we actually are doing Slayer again, I guess. A furnace in Maradich, not helpful at all. The Columbarium beneath Paradomus and cremating Vire corpses is definitely an interesting system. They've got a very strange drop table for opening those keys. All kinds of weird stuff. Charms, herbs, seeds, secondaries, gems, blood runes, rune items, key halves, a dragon spear, various treasure trail items are super, super rare. And before some changes, they also had a bunch of random adamant items, a mithril axe, iron and steel arrows, a full set of black dragon hide, other kinds of runes. We're just really not going to worry about that right now. It exists. We're just going to leave it alone. Also, an interesting thing with the Columbarium is that every 50 Vires you burned would increase the stats of the Avandis flail up to 500. So by the end, you would be a Firewatch killing machine. Whether or not that even exists anymore is a question. The Avandis flail is not amazing. Kills the Firewatch fine though, because they're also super weak now. Anyways. And as an anti-reward, we now get Firewatch in temple trekking. Suppose if you were trying to collect some of the Vire corpses, you could just do that while temple trekking, but it means if we want to do temple trekking and we kind of need to make the Avandis flail, or we're just going to get messed up by Firewatch. Anyways, that's 72 Slayer. Mostly because we've been getting chunks of Slayer XP from continually doing the Jade Vine. 72 is Skeletal Wyverns, which we are absolutely not going to do. We would need to get a Mind Shield, some kind of one-handed weapon. They have Freezing Breath and Wyvern Breath and all kinds of combat style attacks. And their drops are not great. Just another thing we're not going to worry about. Again, unless we get it as a Slayer task. But we're not doing Slayer now, so it's alright. Tome of Experience, totally, absolutely, obviously going in Herblore. 2,500. 2,500. And 2,500. Oh, so close to a level. Yeah, 1,400 XP. That's fine. Examine the Avandis Flail, outs for 600 coins. Not gonna bother with that. And drop all this stuff. I guess we'll keep the silver bar since we're doing silver crafting anyways right now. Drop this, and this, and this. Destroy the shortcut key. Not going back into Mire Ditch right now. Just chucking the blood talisman and the Avandis Flail on the ground here. You guys can have it. Go nuts. Anyways. Need to do more crafting here. Get that up to the level I want. And then another quest. Probably. Lots of things happen. Next time. Goodbye.